What's up, Cyclone Fanatics? Chris Williams, joined by Austen Arnaud. We continue to break down the 2012 Iowa State football season, talking Baylor. I think Austen, perhaps the most intriguing team in the Big 12 when you look at what happened last year compared to what's going to happen this year.
Exactly.
You got a Heisman Trophy winner quarterback, a legendary Robert Griffin III. Lose your running back, lose your top wide receiver. How in the world does this team keep it up? I don't think they're going to be as good as they were a year ago, but I think Baylor's got enough in the pipeline right now. I think they got enough in the trenches. I think their defense is better. I don't think they're going to be this massive drop-off that a lot of people think. Now,
right.
I'm still thinking 7, 8, potentially 9 in the conference, but I don't see this going back to the Baylor of old. Nick Florence at quarterback. He's got some experience.
Yeah.
I think this could be a 6-6 football team. What do you think about the Baylor Bears?
I agree. I think there will be a little bit of a fall off, but like you said, you lose RG3, you lose your top rusher in Ganaway, you lose your top receiver. So you have to look at what pieces they bring back, and they have a lot of no-name guys. They've been able to go out and it's been known on a lot of the recruiting trail that Baylor's been able to recruit with the likes of Texas, Oklahoma State, in the state of Texas, and get these bigger, better kids. I know they have a running back that they just signed for their next class, who's one of the best running backs in Texas. So Baylor is able to recruit, and with an offensive system like Art Briles, those guys, I mean, they are on their P's and Q's. They know what they're doing. Baylor University, private university, there's smart kids there. A lot of things going in the right direction for that program. The one thing you look at, though, they return 9 starters on defense. 6 of them were sophomores last year, and they were dead last in the NCAA in total defense. So you like to think that they'll be better this year, but I don't see it. That team is an offensive powerful. They're very similar to Texas Tech in the fact that the best defense against them is keeping that offense off the field.
Well, we're putting on Captain Obvious hat now.
Yeah.
But I mean, exactly how much of that offense was RG3 just out there improvising, doing things that really only a guy like RG3 can do. I mean, even a Cam Newton would have trouble trying to emulate some of the things that Griffin was able to do out there on the football field. Yeah,
and you look at what they did, and he made a lot of checks in the pass game. And everyone, was so, taken back by his running ability. His running ability is great, but he got so much better as a passer his last year in college. And he was just unbelievable. He had that knee injury, everyone was unsure. He just was, he, in my opinion, was, Andrew Luck was pretty good, but he was the best player on his team. There's no doubt about that for his team. And the kid was unbelievable. I just don't know if Nick Florence is going to have the gumption about himself. He's a smaller kid, and hasn't had near the experience that Robert Griffin had to step in there and to do things to put up Heisman numbers, which we know probably won't happen.
He won't do that, but I'll tell you this: I think their wide receiving group is underrated. I think that they
have a lot of speed.
They have a lot. They got a lot of guys who are just kind of waiting in the wings who want to play in that Art Briles system. They got a lot of talent there. They've recruited well at wide receiver, so I think that that's going to be better. Probably going to be better, or not better. I'll say that at wide receiver as a whole, I think they have more depth this year.
Yeah.
It's different when you don't have RG3 thrown to you as well. So a lot of questions with Baylor. I still think Iowa State wins that game.
They'll do a lot of things to make it easier for Nick Florence. Robert Griffin, he made a lot of the calls. Art Briles made the calls from the sideline, but RG3, when he got in there and made checks and things like that, but Art Briles will make it very easy on Nick Florence, and so will those receivers with their speed and a couple of the backs they have who bring a different versatility. You
remember when you mocked me for putting RG3 #1 on my All Big 12 ballot last year?
Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that.
Take my jabs when I can get them, everybody.
Zing, zing.
Thanks for watching. Over the next few weeks, we're going to keep breaking down the season. Camp's almost here, man. We're almost there. Thanks for hanging out at CycloneFanatic.com. For Austin, I'm Chris. So long, everyone.